everybody. Welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. One of the last ones for the season, but it's finished. Roma won, Sevilla won. Sevilla win on penalty shootouts. 4-1 really. You know what? It felt like it was going to go to penalties. Right? I mean, it's the team that never loses Europa finals against a manager that has never lost a European final for today. And you knew that was going to go to penalties. You knew that was going to go there because that was the only way. And technically, I think technically, Jose Mourinho can say that he's never lost a European final, though he's lost a European final. But I mean, the game wasn't that great. I mean, we had a fantastic Europa League season, by the way. It's been a much better competition than the Champions League, according to me. I think it's been brilliant. But I think today's game was just, it wasn't that good. And you kind of expected it because it's two teams that are not very enterprising, not very attacking. The both teams that like to play on the break, teams that like to, defend deep, counter, and the teams that rely a lot on mistakes and shithousery rather than actual footballing skills. So you know that was going to be the case. But I think what Roma will be disappointed is that it got the lead and then they gave it away. And I think Gianluca Mancini will probably look back at this game and wonder why he even bothered playing it, because he was the culprit for the own goal, and then he also missed his penalty. And I thought it just had to be, in that way. And then of course Gonzalo Montiel steps up, misses his penalty, but turns out there's encroachment, so he comes back, takes it again. And when he takes it again, I'm like, hey, he's going to score, because you don't miss two penalties in a row, and that's, he was definitely going to score the second time, and he did. And Sevilla deserved winners. I think they were the better team across the 120 minutes, and they were slightly better. I don't think either team can come out and say, well, we dominated this game. I don't think anybody, and I don't think either team can say that. Ultimately, I don't think I think there's a lot of cases to be made for for Sevilla to be a slightly better team, but I don't think either one of them really were good. And particularly those last 30 minutes of extra time, I mean, it's just cagey. It was just cagey. It was neither team really wanting to wanting to take risks. If there was a team that was trying to win it, it was probably Sevilla. I think Roma, once they got into extra time, were always looking to play for penalties. And I always feel that when there's a team that's looking to play for penalties, they generally end up losing either in extra time or in penalties, they end up losing anyway. So generally that's what happens. And again, you also got to question why Mourinho took off, his top three penalty takers. I mean, he took off Dybala, he took off Pellegrini, he took off Tammy Abraham. Now I know it's 120 minutes and it's a long time, so maybe he needed to refresh. But I think taking all three of them off was a bit of a gamble that didn't pay off. And you saw the penalty takers. I mean, when I saw, to be honest, all four penalties were pretty. I mean, they took three, right? Yeah, they took three, and I think all of them were pretty poor. If you look back at it, they were all pretty poor. Although the first one went in, though it probably could have been saved as well. The other two were just Mancini's was pretty bad. Ibanez was pretty bad. I don't know why Ibanez even bothered to take the penalty, because I thought he was just not in the right frame of mind. He had like two injuries in those last 30 minutes. You don't, it affects you mentally, and I don't think he was in the right frame of mind to be taking the penalty. And you could see it when he took it. He just had no idea what he was trying to do. He was just there, like he was like, oh my god, what am I doing here? And you just had that body language. If you look at the body language of the player, he just didn't look like he wanted to be taking a penalty, but he goes across, and Bono is just he knows exactly what he wants to do. It was a bit of a interesting watch that last penalty from Roma, but ultimately Sevilla competition specialists, right? They'll be going to the Champions League again, and once again they will likely finish third, and they'll go back in the Europa League again. I mean, it's just incredible, isn't it? With Sevilla, no matter what position they're in the league, no matter what they do in the Champions League, once they are in the Europa League, they go on, and they usually go on and win it, which makes West Ham's achievement last season even better. Yes, they beat them in the round of 16, which is probably the only time when you can beat them. But it's just incredible that they couldn't win it last year, and West Ham beat them. It just puts that much of respect on their name, right? But I mean, Sevilla, isn't it? Once they get past the quarters, it's just no stopping them. And to be fair, if you look back at it, they've actually had to come back against Manchester United, because they were 2-0 down, had to come back from there. Against Juventus, they were down 2-1 in the second leg. They managed to come back from there. And even today, they were down 1-0, and they managed to come back from there. So it's a lot of show of character from Sevilla, actually. It's not just, Sevilla, the name. I think they do show a lot of character, and I do think this competition brings out the best in them. And I mean, they're the Real Madrid of this competition in some ways, aren't they? And they're the asset test, the standard bearers. I don't know how many more they I mean, this is a massive run. This is a run that has actually spanned across more than one generation. It's not just one generation of teams. It's won a lot. It's different generations that keeps winning and winning and winning. And I don't know how many they could win. They could win a lot because it's just there's an aura around them for this competition. Anyway, well, I'm for Jose Mourinho. Finally a defeat in European finals, and I mean, to be fair, if you looked at these two teams, Roma were the underdog. I think Roma, is as good as, league position can be a little bit. If you look at league position, Roma probably finished higher than Sevilla in terms of the respective leagues. But I think Roma always had that thing about fighting from underneath. Maybe part of that is Jose Mourinho, right? He's always trying to make it seem like his team is the underdog, but he just felt that Sevilla had that belief and that confidence a little bit more, especially once it was 1-1. It never looked like it was going to be 2-1. But you just felt like at 1-1, you feel like Sevilla, if it went to penalties, they were going to win. They were going to win. They just had that confidence, which I think Roma lacked. Which is surprising because Roma actually were Conference League winners coming into this one. But anyway, that's how it goes. Congratulations to Sevilla. Well done. Well deserved. Sad for Roma, sad for Mourinho. It would have been nice to see Roma win like 2 European competitions back to back and make it to the Champions League, but they'll have to play in the Europa League against next season. They'll be hoping that Sevilla don't make it. I think every team next season, who's going to be in the Europa League, you got Brighton, you got Liverpool, you got a few others, of course. Roma, you got there. Probably for Fiorentina might be there as well. I think Atlanta will probably be there. But you want all of those teams to be saying, let's not play Roma. Let's not play Sevilla. Let Sevilla finish second or fourth. First, second, fourth. Don't finish third, please. That's what I want to say. But anyway, well, that's the conversation for another time. Smash like for Sevilla. Of course, you enjoyed the game. Thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.